Hello and welcome back to the channel. So we know that the Bible says that it is high time that we awake out of our sleep. It is high time that we awake out of our sleep. What sleep is that? So there are so many layers to this, and we are constantly peeling them back. One of the things is definitely the deceptions that have been put forth out in the world. Now, even at the time that passage was written, there were things that were happening. There were deceptions that were already being put out there, right? And so as it was in those days, it is today as well. So we are pulling back the layers, y'all. We are trying to reveal the truth to those who are interested, because a lot of people don't care about the truth. They are okay with the lie. They are happy in their deception. So for those, there's no help or no hope for them. Okay. But anyway, I'm going to be sharing with you all a clip. This is a video. It's an old video where they're talking about the Bible before the Bible and showing you some ancient 15th century manuscripts before Europeans got a hold of the Bible and started to paint the likeness of their images. They started to change things and switch things out, right? We're going to show you how things used to be. So anyway, take a look at this video clip, and of course, I will be right back.
These are very important documents. Look, the binding, book binding in Ethiopia. The cover, wooden board cover, as you see. Everything is made at home. So, this is 15th century manuscripts. Sometimes, it's amazing that, people in the 15th century, were they, aware of color? All the saints, even the Virgin, is painted black. Today, even today, you don't find such paintings in churches, always, a bright color, not black color. So, it has to be studied very, very well, this type of documents. Look, even the evangelist, this is Matthew, and the harag or the decorations, all this, and as I told you at the beginning, piece of cloth to cover, it is cotton made. This is, homemade clothes. So they protect it not to be destroyed, the painting. So this technology, look, this different science. This is, in different places. The full stops, the title of the book, and the numbers even, what we see today and in the 15th century, they are different. The transformation, it has already changed. So these are very important to study, as I told you, different disciplines. The language is the language and linguistics. The paleography, the calligraphy, the paleography. Look, the position of these, all the ma and the sa, all this, the ha. All these are completely different from today's, Ethiopian law. So this is very important for paleographical study, very important for art history, very important, as I told you, for sociology and anthropology. So that is why this is a mining house. That is why I say that this is a mining house where we can dig, a lot of information from all these original sources. So this is very important manuscript, and then it is restored by an Italian expert, Carla Zanotti, almost 8 years ago. So this is one of our documents. As I told you, this is, of course, this is religious, as I told you, but it has also another information here, as I told you, colophons or marginal notes. This is, for example, this is Asmat prayer. So, to protect the owner of the book from different things, or to protect his animals not to be eaten by wild animals like hyena. They call it mastagert. Look, this harag or decorative design. So this is the beginning of another book, that is the book of Mark, the evangelist Mark. So in every chapter they design or they put such harags to indicate where it begins the other book. So this is it. If we see, and if we see this type of manuscript, as I told you, they are so much concerned about these documents, about this very valuable materials. They cover it first with, as I told you, it is covered with wood, and the wood is covered by another, soft leather, and even for decoration, look, it is covered inside, it is wood. After the wood, there is a cover of cloth. These clothes also one has to study. The clothes which we have seen in this book and this are completely different. It shows that this is earlier and this is later. So this was imported, clothes. So which type of clothes from which place, that will indicate, And then this is, we call it Morocco leather or the Tambay leather because it is soft, to cover it. And then all the design, look here, this is a cross, this is a cross. All the design was designed by the scribe. It has its own, the scribe has his own instruments for making all these, designs, decorations, and even, the binding materials, complete material. From skin, that means from the skin of a goat, to a book, they have complete, materials for making them. Not only these decorative materials, writing materials. Not only the writing materials. The inks, different types of inks. They prepare themselves in the local area from soil, plants, leaves, fruits, and different types of materials. The colors they want, whether it be yellow, green, red, they can make it. So all these are prepared in the local area. This is late 17th century manuscript, as you see. This manuscript is also printed, and covered with this piece of cloth. This is Saint Raphael, not Raphael, Raphael, yes, Saint Raphael. These are, the lives of different, good men, protected by, Raphael, and he is holding them in his wings. These are two wings, So, and look the difference between this harag and the previous harag. So, the style, the painting, the decorative design and the illuminations, they have their own style in every century, so that one can study these different styles of different. Look, this is King David, the servants are standing by, and then not only that, they have, what we call it chira, to protect flies from the king. They hold here, and look, not only they hold, the chiras, but they have combs in their hair, hairstyle. Look, they have combs, and the crown of the king, typical Ethiopian type of crown, and debab, we call it this debab is big umbrella, and seated king. So as I told you, look how they dressed, So this is very important for sociology and anthropology, to study. And this is a saint, Look, the difference between this clothes and that clothes, This type of, clothes were not prepared in Ethiopia. There were no, industries at that time. So these are imported, clothes. So from which? From East, from West, from Europe, from where? So it will lead you, or it makes you to do a research on these different materials. as I told you, these are very important for different studies. For example, if we see here, these are two religious fathers, Ethiopian, there is also two schools of thought in Ethiopia. So Abuna Eustathios and Abuna Tekla Haymanot are the two religious fathers of these two schools. So the followers of Eustathios and the followers of Tekla Haymanot. So still this practice continues in different mass in this religion. So look, this harag, this is completely different from the other one. This one is with eyes. The others one, so the beginning of the this is image or salam, and then look these pieces of clothes, how they prepared it and covered it, this painting.
Okay, so that was a very, very interesting and informative clip. It kind of reminds me of the scripture when it talks about, as a matter of fact, let me get it for you. It's in the book of Maccabees, right? This is why I believe a lot of these books were removed, because it was just too much truth that they would have had to combat, right? So in 1 Maccabees 3:48, it says, and laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images, right? The likeness of their images. So there was an effort to change the image of the people of the Bible, the ancient people, and they did just that. When these elements of truth come forward, it just really, really blows the mind of those who just hang so dearly onto Christianity and all of the lies that have been taught through Christianity. But this ancient Bible, like he said, from the 15th century, this is what the saints looked like before Europeans got a hold of it and changed things. This is what inspired us to do the Whited Out documentary series, because through that, we were able to show that not just the Bible, but history, period, has been whited out, meaning that there are things that are presented to us as historical facts were they're actually historical falsehoods, okay? Because they would have you to think that Adam and Eve were white. The original Asians, they would have you to think, are white. The original Europeans, they would have you to think or believe are white. The original Native Americans, they would have you to think or believe they were whitish or whatever. Okay, down in South America, other areas of the world, they would have you to believe that these people were white or whitish. When what has happened is the whole world has been whited out, because the original inhabitants were and still are black. Okay, but history is finding its way, is bubbling back to the surface again. All of those things that have been hidden are coming to the light. The truth is bubbling to the surface, and there is no hiding it any longer. Okay. And for those who will say, well, it doesn't matter, that's just a person who is not interested in the truth, but they have pleasure in unrighteousness. So the Most High said he was going to turn them over to a strong delusion anyway, right? He says, and I will send a strong delusion so that you can believe a lie, because you have not a love for the truth, but pleasure in unrighteousness. So the Most High says, I'm going to send you a strong delusion so you can believe whatever you want to believe, right? And so the truth is not for those. The truth is not for those who don't like the truth. The Most High is going to let you believe whatever you want, but it's going to be for your destruction. It will be for your destruction. Ain't that something? But who can stay his hand and say, what doest thou? Who can say it's not fair? The Most High can do whatever he want to do, because he truly has his way in the heavens above and the earth below. Ain't that right? So, again, this truth is not for those who can't handle it, for those who will simply say it doesn't matter. The same people who say it doesn't matter what the race of the people of the Bible are the same ones who will tote around a Bible with white images, right? Who will have a statue in their house of a white Jesus. The same people who will do that, but tell you none of it matters. And actually get offended when you say that the people of the Bible were actually black people. When you tell them that the 12 disciples were black, that the apostles were black, the children of Israel black, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob black. Why do you get angry? Why does that infuriate you? You have to ask yourself, what's inside of you to where that infuriates you? That's the question of the day. I'm done. Chop it up in the comment section as always. Keep it tight and keep it right. But until next time, I'm out.